Niger Delta communities demand ownership and control of resources. Stakeholders in host communities of the Niger Delta region have demanded ownership and control of the host communities trust funds proposed in the Petroleum Industry Bill (PIB) for the development of oil-bearing areas. The stakeholders also demanded an increment in the contribution of 2.5% of the operating expenditure (OPEX) of companies to 5%, even though they expressed concern that the proposed funding is subject to manipulation and discretion by the entities. The host communities, however, noted that the PIB failed to address the fate of impacted communities, especially those that suffer the consequences of gas flaws and other environmental damages, and demanded that this lacuna be provided for in the passage of the bill. These were some of the highlights of Communico issued at the end of a host community colloquium organization by other paper advocacy initiative in Owerri, the Imo State capital, during the week. The Communico, which had a total of 10 resolutions, was endorsed on behalf of participants drawn from oil-bearing areas by the Pan-Niger Delta Forum (PANDEF), Federation of the Ethnic Nationalities of Niger Delta, and Stakeholders Democracy Network (SDN), among a dozen other group representatives of host communities. While stating that the PIB should be designed as a tool for resolving development challenges rather than as palliatives to host communities, the stakeholders said the PIB must clearly define what constitutes host and impacted communities rather than leave that to the discretion of the companies. On the question of ownership, the stakeholders said the bill should make it compulsory for members of the board of trustees of the trust communities a strong role in the selection process, financial management, and administrative procedure of operating the trust. They also said needs assessment, monitoring, and evaluation for projects and programs should be jointly conducted by both the communities and companies, and that the PIB should clearly set out timelines for implementation of projects and penalties for defaulting companies. They further said the PIB should adopt clearly defined incentive-based measures for protection of oil and gas assets rather than current punitive measures that leave wide room for abuse, and that the contribution of companies to the trust fund should be increased from 2.5% to 5% of OPEX. On the legislative process, which has seen the PIB gone through second reading in the Senate and awaiting consideration in the House of Representatives, they said the National Assembly should consult widely with host communities in the current process of passing legislation. The would include visits to host communities by the committee members and holding some of the public hearing on the bill in the oil-producing Niger Delta region. They further demanding that members of the National Assembly from the Niger Delta region have a responsibility to make granular consultation with the constituents and record their position accordingly during debates and voting on the bill. In terms of inclusiveness, The stakeholders said the bill should recognize gender dimension in the development and constitution of host communities structures in line with the 2019 Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative (EITI) standard. Recall that the colloquium was declared open by the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Ovie Omoagege, who in his open remarks admonished that Nigeria must hurry to make the best use of its hydrocarbon resources now, because in a few years' time the world will move away from fossil fuel to emerging alternatives. Participants were treated to expert presentations and a panel discussion before a robust interactive session led to the adoption of the 10-point communique. Thank you for listening to this news. You see, my viewers, I don't want us to see Niger Delta to be too demanded. It is their right. It is their right. They have even tried to have waited till this time to be demanding for this. There are so many things that has been denied from the Niger Delta, which the Niger Delta is supposed to gain access and control of. You see that, but all the while they have just paused and maintained a very low profile. Okay, you look at their resources, the resources which they're supposed to be in charge and control of. All this while they allow the federal government to be in charge of it and control of it. But some further that just came up, which they are allowed to control their gold. You see that? What will you say about that? What will you say about that? They gave Zamfara the opportunity to control their own gold and sell direct from their state. My dear, it is absolute wickedness, confirmed wickedness and greed. It is not part of the constitution, and it is not how it is being stated in the constitution. Since the Niger Delta resources is controlled by the federal government, same supposed to happen to the Zamfaras, to the Northerners. You understand? So it's unfair, completely unfair. So my viewers, please, your comments concerning all that has just been said are very, very important. Deem it fit to leave your own comment below the comment box. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell button to get updated whenever we upload any new videos. Thank you.